What up, y'all? So, out of all the fights that we hearing about that's coming up, it's one of the fights that I think is like not confirmed, but it was hinted at the most. Um, Frank Martin versus Chris Colbert. I seen on Frank Martin Instagram, he pretty much like promoted his fight with Chris Colbert. He had like a couple of reels where he had Chris Colbert saying he gonna fuck up Frank Martin and take Errol Spence money and things like that or whatever. But I think Chris Colbert about to get rolled over, bro. You know what I'm saying? I've been paying attention to the little I have been seeing from the Errol Spence camp. You see Frank Martin along with Errol Spence and Derrick James. You see them out there working as usual. This how these guys. One thing you gotta say about Errol Spence camp, man, with Frank Martin and Derrick James, these guys, man, they move different from a lot of other camps. You know what I'm saying? They move with a little more respect, and they kind of a lot more private than a bunch of other guys, a bunch of other camps or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like they more serious, they more locked in. You know, you look at other niggas and shit, it look like they more playful. You got Chris Colbert, he out here. They just give you more of a goofy type of vibe compared to them or whatever. But either way it go, man, Chris Colbert does have some skills, but he's more of a 130 pounder. I think Frank Martin a true 135 pounder. But that ain't no fucking excuse for Chris Colbert, man. You should be able to at least go up a weight class with no problem. Like, that ain't no excuse for you coming here and getting your ass whooped by Frank Martin. Chris Colbert made a mistake one time, right? Running his big mouth, similar to what Keyshawn Davis doing right now. Maybe Keyshawn Davis took notes from that situation and wanted to do the same thing, wanted to be the bad guy or whatever. But what happened was Chris Colbert came out. He was like, he spoke on what, Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, I think, or Errol Spence and Danny, one or the other. He was like, man, Errol Spence, his problem is he flat-footed. You know what I'm saying? He flat-footed and things like that. And he said that when he's right next to Danny, I'm like, damn, you ain't gonna say Danny flat-footed, but you say Errol Spence flat-footed? That's crazy, right? So shortly after that, he got in the ring. He got embarrassed. He came in the ring. I don't know if he had green hair or pink hair, but he got this shit. He got the sparkles beat up off of him. He got beat up real bad. You know, he got dropped. It was just an embarrassment. So it seemed like that was karma for running that mouth, right? So now he's still talking. He kind of piped down a little bit, but he's still talking. You know what I'm saying? So Errol Spence did his promoter thing. I'm not sure how it went down or whatever, but he got Frank Martin to fight. Frank Martin got to fight. And I think that's a great name for Frank Martin to get, for him to be on the come up and high rising like he is. Him getting a fight with Chris Colbert, that's gonna make a big name for Frank Martin. That's a good name for him for sure. I'm definitely picking Frank Martin because of his style. He got like a pressure type of style. Like he aggressive. Chris Colbert be on some pretty shit. A lot of these guys looked after Floyd Mayweather, right? And they try to mimic some things, but they ain't doing it right. They pop shotting, throwing one shot at a time. All this extra movement. Errol Spence called it wasting energy, but yeah, all that wasted movement he moving around, pop shot, throwing one shot at a time, mesmerizing his own fucking work, looking at his shot, thinking it did something. Really, he ain't punching like that. So that pop shot and shit, you fight the right person, got a good chin, keep their chin tucked, and pressure you, make you uncomfortable. I think Frank Martin is the guy to do that shit. He gonna hurt Chris Colbert. You know what I'm saying? I expect a lot of statements. I was wondering this. You know, I don't have no sources or anything. My name is Mr. No Sources. But I was wondering this, right? What if we get Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman, Jerron Ennis versus Staniosis as the co-main event, and then Frank Martin versus Chris Colbert? Oh, man. I said this on my live stream yesterday. Just take my money, bro. Take my money, bro. They can have it. You hear me? They can charge $100 for that pay-per-view. Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, Jerron Ennis, Staniosis, and motherfucking Frank Martin, Chris Colbert. Oh, man, that'll be the shit, bro. That'll be what's up. That'll be a lot of work for Derrick James, though. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure he can handle it because he come out there first for Frank. You know what I'm saying? Then the last fight for Earl, he can definitely do it. He can definitely do it. I think he up for the task. Derrick James, a hard-working motherfucker, man. He always locked in along with his fighters. He ain't one of them coaches that's like Bowman that say rhythm. He actually giving these guys game plans to carry out during the fight, and they just great listeners, and along with hard workers. They got chemistry, and that shit show when they get in the ring. So I expect Chris Colbert to be taught a lesson. Next time you speak on a nigga, make sure your ass good enough. You know, so I'm just saying, make sure you bet not lose. Because you saying shit about Errol Spence, but Errol Spence ain't your weight class, but he got a buddy by the name of Frank Martin. It's about to kick your ass. But it is what it is, man. I got Frank Martin for sure, bro, on the high rise, man. The style he got, all those dudes that like that pretty shit, trying to be cute in the ring, who don't like being roughed up and all that, I feel like he an automatic nightmare matchup for you. So he'll fuck up Chris Colbert. You got to be rough and tough, you know, to type of fight to be able to fuck with Frank Martin, to be honest. You got to have some hell of a skill, and you got to have a chin, and you got to have a fucking motor. You got to be able to sustain like a high level of tenacity. You know, just being able to raise the pace. You got to be able to fight at a higher pace than what you're comfortable with when you fucking around with them, man. But other than that, man, that's all I got. I'm definitely, I can just take my money, fam. Straight up. They made that card, I'm with it. But yeah, that's the fight that we pretty much got the most insurance on. Not insurance, but Frank Martin posted that. You know, Errol Spence ain't posted his fight. Yeah, or Jerron Ennis ain't posted his fight that he got either. So we don't know how they finna match it. But however they do it, I'm with it. Yeah, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you ain't subscribed already. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.